What is going on, guys? I'm back for another reaction, and today we're going to be watching DuckTales Season 3, Episode 21. So, fun fact, I'm actually recording this reaction on the day that the series finale comes out. I normally wait to watch episodes until the day after they premiere so that I can watch them without ads, so I'll actually be watching the series finale tomorrow, but today I'm going to be recording my reaction to this episode. And yeah, that means I've only got one episode left before the finale. I'll watch this today, I'll watch the finale tomorrow, and then DuckTales will really be over. Obviously, it's still going to take me a little while to finish editing all the reactions and getting them out, but tomorrow will officially be the end of my journey watching DuckTales. For right now, let's just focus on this episode. I believe it's called The Life and Crimes of Scrooge McDuck. I'm still wondering if that theory I had is correct, that Fal is making a clone of Scrooge McDuck, so maybe this will be about Scrooge's evil alter ego. Or maybe it's going to include some flashbacks showing some mistakes that Scrooge has made in the past. I guess there's only one way to find out, so let's not waste any more time. Let's just get right into it. Hello. It's like the Puffles from Club Penguin.
Didn't you read the instructions on how to take care of them? Obviously I didn't, which is good because he multiplied, and now I can sell these monsters as exotic pets. You are going to own your mistakes and apologize.
Guess Scrooge has to do the same thing.
Scrooge McDuck. Oh, you've been summoned.
Do you mean served?
No.
Oh. Well.
I demand to know who is bringing forth these charges.
Huh?
No, not him. No, anything but that.
Oh
Send me
boy.
back to be Gribble Chow, please! Doofus Drake for the prosecution. If he's the prosecutor, why is he restrained?
He said he thought it would be fun.
I didn't expect him to be the character bringing charges against Scrooge McDuck. There are so many other people who could have done it, but maybe they'll appear as witnesses.
Mr. Drake is seeking payment in the form of his fortune, all land holdings, and his treasure.
He's going after the money! I've done nothing wrong! Your Honor,
Oh, is that so?
I call my first witness.
Of course.
Once, when you stole the only thing I ever wanted.
To be loved.
Huh?
Yeah, oh, the jewel is mine! Sweetheart, get help! You think I'm gonna fall for that? You two are in league with each other!
See, this episode is feeling like a bit of a missed opportunity. Like, it could have been showing things that Scrooge has actually done to wrong people and whether his good deeds outweigh that, but it seems they're just mostly relying on people who are actually bad and just making it look like Scrooge wronged them somehow.
Keep rolling. Are we going to be seeing a more heroic side? A sort of altruistic adventure capitalist?
That has a nice ring to it. Better luck next time, Flinty!
I was stuck there for days, forming a bond with the noble and vicious sharks. They became my friends, my family.
I didn't think they would explain that aspect of his character.
You took a Plum Gold was a villain well before this event. My client is innocent. Who amongst us hasn't made a little mistake, like turning your uncle's home into a gribble zoo, or accidentally selling a submarine? You what? Accidentally! I call Scrooge's next victim Ma Beagle!
Again, it's just kind of hard for me to be invested in this because it's people who are very obviously bad, obviously putting on a front, and so it's obviously not going to work. They could have found people who Scrooge actually wronged, or could have at least made a better case for it.
Back in the good old days when the
Still, these flashbacks are cool.
Okay, Moneybags, I'll arm wrestle you for it. Winner gets the town and the money.
You got yourself a deal.
That Pappy ain't never lost.
That's the problem with never, lassie. It rarely lasts.
Interesting.
If Scrooge hadn't interfered, Ma might not be the ruthless crime lord she is today.
Okay. I do at least get this, because even though you understand Scrooge's actions and he is in the right most of the time, like, the people who were doing wrong before are themselves going to be wrong, and they're going to come back and try to get retribution for it, so I at least understand that.
Keep playing it from there.
I can't believe you.
Lost?
Got caught.
Aha! Ma Beagle was already rotten. My client shouldn't have to take responsibility for every bank robbed or every trap set. Doofus's case doesn't hold water. My client
Okay,
can't
I'm
help if
starting
all
to
these crazies went
like
crazy.
this conflict.
I call my final witness, Magica Dispel.
Oh dear.
Oh no.
When did you first meet Scrooge McDuck?
I'll expect 15 gallons of goat milk by summer.
What a delightful compromise.
Come, Papa. Back to the farm.
Now, what do you say for sparing your goat dad's life?
Thank you, Magica and Poe.
Magica was obviously already, like, the most villainous.
Because one man managed to make matters far worse.
Oh, dang, he's actually...
By taking you down and claiming that treasure for myself with my bare hands.
Then I'll beat you with my bare hands.
I am very curious to see where this goes.
We'll see who's a raven now. How? Oh, stop messing around and turn back already. Come on, you know I don't know how to turn people back. I'm sorry, all right? Just put the amulet on and change back into my brother. Please, help! He's flying away.
Sorry, a bit busy at the moment.
I'll give you anything. My powers, my throne, everything. Just help me save my brother. Oh, no! Come back, please! I'm sorry. This is all your fault. You could have stopped him.
Well, that'll teach you to tussle with Scrooge McDuck. All he had to do was stop a bird from flying out of a window. You gave that treasure back to the townspeople, right? Yes, most of them were goats at that point. But I did spend some of the money to buy them a farm. And then I used the farm to sell their milk. Uncle Scrooge, I assume that if you live as long as I have, you make a lot of sworn enemies. But when you rack up enough of them, you do have to wonder if you might be part of the problem. Doofus, I don't want to start an endless rivalry like Scrooge did. Life is too short. And while you may be a freaky, weird, entitled monster kid, I'm still sorry for any pain that I caused you.
Yeah, not gonna work.
Thank you, Llewellyn. What?
What?
What is this weird, soft feeling? That is the relief of taking responsibility.
Aha!
I'm actually sorry.
Wait, huh?
By his own admission and by the official decree of the Karmic Court, Scrooge McDuck is hereby responsible for creating his enemies.
That's right. He created you. But you might say, you created him too.
Yeah, that's the thing.
So if
Heroes
they're
do always
doing
learn
what
from
he
their
is,
enemies.
He's therefore entitled to the same level of justice.
By official decree of the Karmic Court, Scrooge McDuck is hereby reimbursed his fortune, the deed to Duckburg, and his #1 dime. What?
But since that cord is so powerful and Scrooge did wrong her, couldn't it, like, give her her brother back?
Owning up to your mistakes can be hard, but taking responsibility is the right thing to do. Like the mistake you made by buying me a gribble in the first place. Good luck cleaning this up. Lad!
Okay guys, so that was DuckTales Season 3 Episode 21. I'm gonna be honest, this episode really just wasn't doing anything for me at the beginning, like mostly just focusing on two of the characters when we're nearing the series finale. The whole trial just didn't really work for me because they were just using very weak examples that made it hard to get invested in the action, which made it so surprising and actually very satisfying with how things turn out by the end. Because I had seen screenshots of Magica and her brother online, I just wasn't sure what they were going to do with it. Because that was a really cool flashback showing how Scrooge actually did something wrong. Like, all he had to do was just stop a bird from flying out the window, like they said. Like, he could have at least done that. Like, Magica was genuinely upset and asking him for help. And it just got more interesting from there. Scrooge actually apologized and owned up for his mistakes, but that unintentionally meant admitting that he was guilty. And I really like the defense that Louis used at the end, showing how Scrooge's enemies also kind of created him. Because that is a very common theme in a lot of stories like this, is showing how the hero learns from their enemy in order to become better. And that's kind of true of life in general. Like, I saw this great YouTube video recently where the person was talking about how in life he's determined a lot of his choices not based on what he should do, but rather what he shouldn't do. And he kind of talked about how he observes a lot of people, sees what they're doing, and if it's like, you know what, that just doesn't stick right with me, I'm going to avoid that and then go in the opposite direction. And I thought that was a very interesting way to think about it, and I can tell that's kind of what happened here, is that Scrooge saw how his enemies behaved and he came into conflict with them and ended up kind of doing the opposite of what they do. But perhaps the biggest surprise at all that I totally did not think was going to work is when Louis sees the mistakes that Scrooge and his enemies have made and sees what's happening with him and Doofus Drake, and he actually apologizes, and Doofus Drake actually accepts it in his own weird way. Like, did he just jump over the side, or where did he go, or whatever? I guess that did end up being pretty important after all, since this is right before the series finale, because if they're going to bring this story to a close, then they need to show what the younger generation is going to do differently than the last few generations. So yeah, guys, I didn't think that I was going to like this episode at the beginning, but all the stuff that didn't kind of work for me at first actually made things more satisfying by the end. And we got to see some pretty cool flashbacks with Scrooge. Those are always a lot of fun, and I like the stuff they did with Dewey in this episode. So overall, pretty good episode, but now that it's out of the way, only one episode left to go. I think I'm just gonna do my best to get excited and look forward to whatever the finale has to offer. And with that, I'll turn it over to you guys. What did you think of this episode? Whatever it is, feel free to share your thoughts down in the comments and let me know what you think. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more content. Also be sure to check out my other videos over there. It really, really does mean a lot. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time for the series finale of DuckTales.